stitch is one of those fun stitches that when you're stitching it out, you don't think or realize that it's going to be really attractive. When I originally sewed this, what we did was we've got water soluble stabilizer, and this is actually wool. You probably want to use polar fleece. This is what the stitch looks like, and then by magic this is what we end up with. So it's almost a faux blanket stitch, and it's kind of a fun edge finish for, like I said, wools and polar fleece. Now to set up our stitch, we're going to use our left needle. We're still on a 3-thread wide flat lock, and I've got a decorative thread in that left needle position with my tension at 0. I have my upper looper thread, and that's just a standard overlock thread, and I have that at about 3.5 as far as the tension. My lower looper thread again is a standard overlock, and I've got that tension at 6.5. I lengthen out my stitch length to about 3, and in this case I have engaged my cutting blade. My needle is in that far left position, and my cutting width is set at 7. I'm going to place this water soluble stabilizer on top of the right side of my fabric. Again, you're going to sew on the right side of your fabric with the water soluble stabilizer on top, and we're just going to trim our edge so we have a nice clean edge finish. Let's place everything underneath our presser foot, and we will start to sew very slowly, because you'll see that sometimes that water soluble stabilizer will push forward. I'm just going to continue to sew, cutting off both the wool and the stabilizer. And now that I'm at the end, I'm going to clip my threads, and I'm going to take a look at my stitch. It looks like just like a standard overlock, 3-thread overlock stitch, correct? On the back side, you can see that there's my needle thread. Now if I gently take my stabilizer and pull to the right, you'll see that I am exposing that needle thread, and that's giving me that decorative edge finish. I think that's really attractive. Now in this case, because this is a wool, I actually use 2 layers. There might be times where you only want to use 1 layer depending upon what your fabric is, because as you can see, when I pulled, I tore that off a little bit. So you're just going to gently kind of move back and forth to pull that thread to the edge. So what you're doing is you're taking those threads that we saw on the back side and you're pulling them to the front side. Remember, we saw this pink on the back side when we did the first reveal. Now if we look at the back side, you should not see any pink. What you see is that green thread that you saw on the front side. I think that's kind of cool. The stitch just allows you to pull that thread to the back side, and in doing that you get this awesome edge finish for any project, whether it be a craft project, a home dec project, or a garment. And all that this is a simple 3-thread flat lock wide using a decorative thread in the needle on the Baby Lock Vibrant.